That
Right,
started.
is that started now?
Yep.
Awesome. I've got to get this thing up back there. Right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is the last show and share of the year and of this phase as well for Repairs Online. This is Sprint 14, Beta Phase 2. So let's go through the agenda, and I'll also be doing a demo today. So if we can go to the first slide, please, Kristen. So some of these GIFs are ridiculous. I love them. Show and share. Right. I know we do this every time, but I really want to celebrate and I want to really highlight some things today. So show and share is traditionally for us all to get together and celebrate what we've achieved, to look at what we've achieved as well and to demonstrate it, but also, especially in an environment like this, we want to share information as well, how other councils can benefit from this product. For example, we want to share information on progress made, and most importantly, give you folks a chance to feedback to us and the team how we can improve this product and what we can do with it in the future, as well as ask any other questions. I'll take Christmassy questions. I'll AMA today, folks. Next slide, please. Okay, so what we'll cover today is I will show you how we've managed to develop the cancel appointment functionality. So in this sprint, we really focused on the last big piece of functionality, which was amend and cancel. Today, I'm going to show you the cancels part of that. Then we'll look at what we achieved in Sprint 14 as a team and as a product. I'll give you a summary of what we now have available post beta phase 2 for other councils to take advantage of, and some metrics from November for Lincoln that went live back in April. And then we'll talk about how we can engage with the project and looking into the next phase. So if you could go to the next slide. So what is our vision? Our vision is to design and build a reusable and accessible online repair reporting tool that requires no login and residents prefer to use it and it meets their needs. A tool that is integratable with various scheduling systems through open, scalable and accessible APIs, enabling the tool to be adopted by local authorities across the UK. Next slide, please. Okay, so let me show you what we've been working on. I will try to share my screen. Let me see how I can do that. Share. Thanks, Kristen. So I want to share content only. So I'd like to share this one. Let me see if this works. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if that works. Now I can't see anybody's reactions now, but is it viewable on the screen?
Yeah, I can see request to repair on the screen.
Great. Is it the full browser window or is it just the content?
Full browser window.
Okay. There's nothing particularly personal in there, but is that okay with everybody before I continue?
Fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now that we're able to make appointments, and that's been the main focus of Beta Phase 2, fleshing out tenant, communal, and leasehold repair appointments in terms of booking. Now we're going to look at how we can cancel that. So I'll go through the journey. I'll create an appointment, and then I'll show you what information we need to then use that to cancel. So we'll start now. I'm going to go down the journey of a tenant that has a problem in their bathroom, for example. So what's the problem you're reporting? I'll say something else because if I don't, it'll probably send me to an emergency telephone number to call the council. So to continue the journey, it's not in a communal area. And I am a person paying rent to the council, which qualifies me as a tenant. And the postcode, I've just got a pre-prepared postcode here. And I'm not sure if you can see the drop down, but I'm going to pick 20 Abbey Road. So I live at 20 Abbey Road. I'm a tenant and I've got a problem in my bathroom, in my shower, and my shower hose is broken. So I'll put shower hose is broken and needs replacing. So something nice and easy like that. I don't have an image of it, and that's only optional anyway. And when it gets to the next screen, it picks an appointment. I like how it doesn't have Christmas Day on there as well. So after Friday next week, the closest available appointment after Christmas is the 28th. That suits me. So I'll pick 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the 28th. For this purpose, I'll ask it to email me because it's a live system. And what number should we call if we need to get in touch? I'll just make up a telephone number there. Okay, so that's as easy as it is. So we already know it takes a minute or less to be able to book an appointment. So reviewing the details there, all looks good. The next screen's really important now. So now that it's submitted, the first thing I get is that unique repair reference number. And it also, I won't use this particular link today, but let's say we're in the scenario that I'm a tenant, I press the right date and time for me, and then I go to submit, and then I realize, actually, I'm not going to be in that day. I need to change it or I need to cancel it and start again. You've got the option before you finish the journey initially to be able to immediately view and change. But what I want to do is show you from the perspective of somebody who may be approaching that repair date and actually decide that it's been, it's not broken, so it doesn't need to be fixed, or I might need to change or do something different with it or cancel it. So I'll go back to the beginning of the journey. For the purpose of this, I'll just put report another issue because that just takes me back to the beginning. And what you'll notice now is you've got this change or cancel your repair appointment statement at the bottom of the start page here. So search for a repair appointment to change or cancel. That's what we want to do next. So you need two pieces of information for this, and this is obviously part of the reason is so we don't want anybody else cancelling other people's appointments. So you have to have that unique reference number, and you have to know the postcode of the address that you're searching for. So once you've got those two pieces of information, which I do, so I'll copy and paste that into there, and then NG21 9LQ. If you wanted to talk about something else, for example, if you needed to change the description or add more information to describe what the fault is, then that's not something we can do at the moment. Maybe that's something in the future that we can add in, but you would need to call a council if it's anything other than cancelling or amending the appointment. So we'll click search, and you'll see here that it's brought up that particular repair number at that property for the bathroom, which is the shower, is listed here. So you can either change or cancel. So for this purpose of this demo, we'll press cancel. And again, if it's something else that you want to do that's not amending or cancelling, you can ring the council. So you've got that option there, but we'll cancel the repair appointment. We'll press continue. Are you sure you want to cancel? Now, if you press no, it'll just take you back to the previous page. But if you are sure that you want to cancel it and it wasn't an accidental click, you can press confirm. And that's what happens. So your repair has been cancelled. Now, what happens when you cancel an appointment is the council get a notification that the appointment's been cancelled, and it gets changed. The appointment status in the DRS gets changed as well, so that an engineer doesn't get booked out or gets cancelled appropriately. But the user doesn't get a confirmation that it's been cancelled. So just to be aware of that. So that's the confirmation that you'll get. And that's the end of the demo as it stands at the moment. I'd love to show you the amend feature as well, but we're just finishing up the last sprint tomorrow, and we've still got a bit of work to do on that, and we do have a bit of a blocker as well, which I'll go through when we talk about the achievements and the next steps. But before we finish that bit, I just want to give a chance for if anyone's got any questions about that, or any ideas or anything we can do to improve that, any feedback at all. Okay, fantastic. Oops, falling off my head. There we go. Okay, Kristen, would you be able to share the presentation again? Awesome. Yep, that's the next slide. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Sprint 14. A couple of things to note about Sprint 14. Sprint 14 is not a full sprint. So one of the achievements I think is worth mentioning is that a normal sprint is 10 working days or 2 weeks. And for this particular sprint, especially in the run up to Christmas, we had 7 working days to fit this work in. Going into this sprint, just for a bit of context, the team knew that we had a very, very large backlog that we needed to fit in order to achieve amend and cancel. So the first thing I want to do before we talk about these achievements is I want to give the engineering team and Newark and Lincoln and our customers a round of applause for such an amazing piece of work they've done, not in just this sprint, but for the whole phase 2, beta phase 2 that we've done. So thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate that. Well deserved. Everybody's worked really hard and we've achieved a lot. And it hasn't been without its shortcomings and its issues, but I think we've dealt with it very well. So in saying that, we'll start with what we achieved in this particular sprint. We completed the UI front end journey for amend and cancel. So all of those pages that you saw there for amend and for cancel, they're all now completed. They're in the process of being pushed to production. So they're merging over the next 24 hours. So all of that front end experience will be finished. We've also made really good progress on the API endpoints in the back end that connects our repairs online system to DRS for the purpose of changing and amending and changing the flags in that in the scheduling system to create that full journey. Now we have had some challenges with that and we are needing some support from the supplier, which hasn't been as responsive as we would have needed, but that doesn't mean that we haven't been able to make great progress in it so far. We're also in the progress of completing a technical spike on the integration with NEC, or I think it was previously called Northgate, which has approximately 60% of the market share of housing management systems around the UK. So that will open the doors for us to deploy to many more councils more readily. So that would be a big win to understand technically how we're able to do that. A team, I think it's a big team win as well, is I feel like the team have reacted really well to change when external factors have become blockers. And we've had a few of those in the last couple of sprints. But particularly for this sprint, we had some issues. We have had issues trying to integrate with DRS scheduling system to be able to create that back end journey where we can change the flags to cancel or amend an appointment. So what the team did was they added some dummy responses from the scheduling API so that they could at least complete that testing journey and do that proof of concept to make sure that the end-to-end functionality works. So that's just one of the things they've had to overcome in this sprint, and I thought that was really agile and really well thought out. So again, well done, team. So let's go on to the next slide. So what does the product look like now? So for people in this call that might be from other councils that have been sitting on the back benches looking at how this product has been developed, we now have from the MVP journey that Lincoln went on, which was the tenant journey to book an appointment. We now have the ability for leaseholders to be able to book repair appointments. We've got communal repair opportunities now. So if there's you know, something in a living area or outside in a communal area that needs fixing, we've got the ability to be able to book those appointments as well. And I put that 95% in there for amend and cancel just purely because of that back end scheduling piece of functionality we need to get working, but we still have the rest of today and tomorrow to finish that. And we have some plans and some contingencies to get that done. It will be done, but I don't want to say that it's done as of right now at the show and share, but we're very confident it will be finished. So that's amend and cancel. That encompasses what we consider the full service. Of course, we want to continue to add to that, but what we need is input from other councils. We need other people to get on board and give their ideas. We've taken this product really far from when it first started in phase 1 with Lincoln. And I have some other exciting things to share with you as well in the next slide. But that's what the product looks like now in its entirety. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so Lincoln and Redbridge. So for Lincoln, the visual you see on screen there is the metrics for online repairs and submissions for November. You'll see from the top left square there, repairs by month. It's still up there, similar to the last 3 months or the last 4 months of repair requests. This system, its first full month was in May. So I want to point out that clearly there's been at least a third increase from where it was in the first 2 quarters of this, in the second quarter of this year, which is great, which is encouraging. And this has all happened organically. This hasn't happened with, from what I can see, too much promotion to the tenants yet. This is just small snippets of and pockets of tenants and residents being able to figure out how to do it and requesting those repairs. A couple of things that I've noted: kitchen repairs have seen quite a large increase in requests in November compared to October. So on the top right, or the right side of that, with the squares that show bathroom, kitchen, outside, bedroom and living areas, if I compare that with last time, that dark purple box at the bottom of kitchen is nearly doubled. I wouldn't like to speculate, but I think that's probably because boilers and things related to heating have probably increased with the cold weather. But it's still really encouraging to see that we're retaining high levels of channel switching. The Lincoln team will also be promoting the online service to residents via Facebook. I believe this month, correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy, I believe you're doing that this month, and hopefully going into 2023, you'll start to promote this service more widely, and we'll be able to see that in the future dashboard updates as well. One note on Redbridge. Redbridge went live last month as well with the service. And although they don't have any meaningful metrics to show as a visual yet, they have had 19 repairs logged online without any promotion, and they're planning to do some aggressive promotion over the next couple of months to bring people and make people aware of that service. And they haven't had any issues to note that have been reported in terms of any breaks in the journey. It all seems to be working just like the telephone system, but at a much better pace and much more convenient for the residents. So we also have Redbridge online now as well, which is worth shouting about. Next slide, please. Okay, so we finished beta phase 2, which was originally to get to develop a full service, so not just the tenant journey, but communal, leasehold, and amend and cancel. We've done that, but what we weren't able to do, for anybody that hasn't been on previous calls, is we haven't been able to integrate our housing repair system with the housing management system over in at Newark. And because of operational challenges, they decided that they weren't able to go live without that integration. Now, it wasn't part of the original scope, so we weren't able to fit that in into the backlog. But what we have done is we've worked with Redbridge, with Newark, sorry, to plan in a piece of work at the start of January. So we do actually have we'll call it a sprint worth of work, so 2 weeks worth of work, starting early January, that will focus on integrating housing repair system with Capita, and also getting Newark online, because that's the final piece of the puzzle that will get Newark to embed the full service that we've developed this year, as well as getting that integration. So they'll be looking to go online mid-January, which will be a big win. And then there's all sorts of possibilities for the future as well. So they're really the key focus for early January after Christmas. Next slide, please. I believe that's engaged with the project. So Kristen, if you've got any words.
Just my usual. Merry Christmas, everyone. But yeah, we're still working with other councils to look at the next phase as to what we should be doing during our for our next funding bid. Because there's yes, there's the product. Do we need to develop it more, add more functionality, but also as well looking at the governance of it. So really happy to hear from more councils. If you want to have a say, just get in touch with me through the website, through the blog. Just reach out to us via email. More than happy to talk to you. Just a note ahead as well, we're going to be talking at the Housing Technology Conference in March about online repairs. So if anyone is there, do say hello and see us there. And yeah, we may we might have one more show and share in the new year, but after that it will be a bit of a break until we're back, most likely once the next sort of funding round. But we've got quite a lot of activity that we're starting to plan in with some of our other partner councils that will be pushing things on behind the scenes. So when we do come back, we'll have as well some more information for you and a bit of a slightly updated direction. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Kristen. Thank you. So the next slide, I believe, is questions, but more importantly, Merry Christmas. I think we've all earned, a good break, and I hope everyone's looking forward to that. I've been on this project since just before November. I haven't been here for the full beta phase 2, but I am incredibly proud of what everybody's done, and if it hasn't been made clear enough, this is a really important thing that we're doing for residents. We're making people's lives easier. I see the value, and I really hope other people do. And I really look forward to working with more councils to get this online in more places. But does anybody have any questions? Does anyone want to, give any feedback? Talk about what you're thankful for. Anything, any closing remarks before we finish for the year? Oh, I see Leon with his hand up already.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to the project team for all the work you've done over this phase. I understand there's been a number of challenges, but what you've delivered so far is really good. Just wanted to ask a quick point of clarification. On the slide where you said what does the product look like now, you've got the tenant journey, leasehold journey, communal repairs journey, and the amend and cancel journey, 95%. Have you also not delivered the configurable SOR engine?
Yes, we have. Yeah, good spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that has been delivered. And also, actually, it's worth mentioning. Oh no, we already did the NEC integration technical spike to make sure that we understand how to do that and can be ready to do that in the future should it be required. So yes, thanks for flagging that, Leon.
Yeah, so with respect to the NEC integration, if a council does want to integrate the housing repair service with NEC, what would be the appropriate way of getting that piece of work done? Is it fully documented that they could just take the work that you've done, that you've documented in written form, or is it work they would need to commission?
I would say it's not actually been coded or integrated with housing repair, so it would definitely be work that we would need to do. The purpose of the technical spike was to make sure that the APIs were compatible and that we understand what information needs to be transferred to and from each system. It's relatively lightweight at this point with what we could fit into the sprint and prioritizing and then the cancel. So it is definitely work we need to do. With us doing work to integrate with Capita, depending on how similar the engineering team feel that would be, we'll definitely have some learnings from that integration piece we're doing in early January to hopefully accelerate that. But yeah, we need to do that work still.
Okay. And are there plans to, well, you said there's 60% of the market, is the plan to build out that API in the next phase if you submit an application for continuous funding?
That will be subject to discussion amongst the project team and the involved councils.
Okay.
So it'll partly depend probably on who's actually involved. If someone actually is on NEC and is interested, I'd say get in touch with us, because actually if that's something you really want, then actually by being at that conversation with us, we can make sure your voice is heard.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Right. Any other questions, anybody? Okay. Okay, that was 7 seconds. I always try and give at least 7 seconds before. Just closing remark. I am thankful for a warm home. I went to the gym at 5:30 this morning, and you would not believe how cold it is out there. Well, you probably would.